Hi, thanks for reaching out. So I have the file that you sent through Blackboard. So cool, that worked. And I do have your print screen. And the problem is this is an append query, but look, this field here, this row where it has append to is blank. So it's saying you don't have any destination. So let's go through and actually create it. All right, so let me pull up your file. Oops, wrong one. And let me get the instructions here. Let's move this over here. And then we're going to move up in the instructions a little bit and build this, okay? So I think 18 is actually where you run it. So I don't see any of these. Oh, this is in the other. Okay, so let's just do this. Okay, close the query design, add tables to, okay, so we're going to create a query in design view, and we want to add tables, customer, orders, and shipper. So customer, orders, and shippers are the three tables. So I'm just going to move those so I can see them. I'm going to take orders over here, and then I'm going to open these up. And when we do these action queries, I always do the query and make sure it's perfect before I switch it to the action. So from the customers, we're going to add first name, last name, and then in this from orders, we're going to do order ID and shipping cost. Then we're going to do, let's see, customers, orders, and shipping cost. And then shipping company. All right, so let's run the query. Okay, it has everything. That's good. Now what we want to do is we want to limit this to orders that begin with an 8, which are, I think, FedEx, right? So if we run this, anything that begins with an 8, oh no, I am not, that is not true. Okay, order number, we're going to do 8 asterisk tab, and then it'll put the like in there, it'll put the quote in. So that asterisk is there because it's a wildcard character. It means it's put anything you want in there. Oh, so this is for August, right? Okay, so let's run the query now, and we have 4 records, right, that were done, orders that were placed in August. Go back to design view, and now, so we created it as a select. We ran it, we verified it. Now I can switch it to the append type, right? So all of these ones with the exclamation points, when you run them, instead of just showing you the answer, they do some action. That's why they're called action queries. So we're going to switch it to append. And right here, this must be the step you missed. Here, you have to identify what table you want to take these records from this query and put it in to another table, right? So let's just see what it wants. So September orders. So we're going to click this down, and from the display list, and click September orders. I don't see September orders. Okay, so that's part of the problem. So I'm going to close out of this, and we got to go back up. Let's go back up here. Select query to make a table. So this September orders isn't made, so you can't append to it. So we're going to come up here, and we're going to add tables. So create, query design. We're going to add customer, orders, and shippers. Okay, close this out, and I'm just going to rearrange these so I can see it all. And then we're going to put our fields down into the grid. So order number, last name, first name, and then shipping company, right? So if I run that, I get all 15 records. I want to limit these to those in September, so we're going to do a 9 asterisk under the order number and hit tab. It'll fill in the rest here. So now if I run this, I have 4 records. They all begin with 9, and that it means they're in the month of September. So that is we know that query works. So now we need to switch it to a make table. So we're going to come up here and we're going to change this to a make table. The table name that we're making it is called Ch5 space September orders. Okay. All right. So now in order to actually execute it, I'm going to run it, right? That's how we run an action query. So I'm going to do run. I'm going to paste 4 new rows into a new table, and that's what I want. So now we have September orders here. We're going to take this query and what are we going to call this one? We're going to save this as Ch5 make table query. Okay, close that up. So now I can come down here and do this append, right? This would never have worked because you didn't have the table to create it into or append it to. So we're going to start over. We're going to do create, query design. We're going to pick customers, orders, and shippers. I'm going to close that out. I'm going to arrange my tables. I'm going to open them up so I can see the fields. And then I'm going to start populating my grid at the bottom. So we're going to do first name, last name, order number, shipping cost, and shipping company. Okay. I'm going to run this because it's still a select query. I'm going to run it, and we've got all 15. So now we need to qualify these. We only want those in August. So we're going to go to order ID, and we're going to put an 8 asterisk. So I have the 8 asterisk, and I'm going to hit tab. I'm going to run it now, and you can see I only get 4. They begin with an 8. So that looks good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to change this from a select query to an append query. So we're going to come over here and say append. What table are we appending it to? And this is the piece you didn't have before because you hadn't created the September. So table name, September orders, okay. So look, down here, it's got the table that you're appending it, the field that we're appending it to. Notice that shipping cost does not exist, right? So we're going to run this right here. Shipping cost, look, if we look at September orders, there's no shipping cost. So there's no field to populate that by. So let's go ahead and run this. I'm going to say I'm going to append 4 rows. Yes. So now if I open up September orders, look, there's 8. There's those 4 from September and 4 from October. So now what we want to do, let's see, close the query and save it. So we're going to close this, save it as Ch5 append August orders query. Okay. So then I think the next thing we're going to do is rename this because it just says September. So I'm going to point to it, right click, rename, and we're going to make this 5B August, and, oops, I spelled August wrong. August and September, enter. All right, so that gets you up to 22. So let me know if you have any questions. All right, thank you.